Extrahepatic biliary apparatus. Extrahepatic means the structure which is present outside the liver. Biliary apparatus is an apparatus or a group of structures that constitute biliary system or the storage and concentration of the bile. So this extrahepatic biliary apparatus collects the bile from the liver, stores in its gallbladder and transmit it to the second part of the duodenum. Since it is present outside the liver, that constitute or that is called the extrahepatic biliary apparatus or extrahepatic biliary system. Well, moving to the parts of the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, we can see the right and left hepatic ducts. There is a right hepatic duct, there is a left hepatic duct. That together forms a common hepatic duct. Both right and left hepatic ducts are exiting out from the corresponding lobes of the liver, and that this exit of these two hepatic ducts are through the porta hepatis. The porta hepatis is the hilum of the liver that is situated at the junction between posterior and inferior surface. So these two ducts together forms a common hepatic duct. The common hepatic duct runs downwards and then it joins with the duct of gallbladder. This is your gallbladder, and this gallbladder has a duct which is called cystic duct. So the cystic duct and the common hepatic duct together forms bile duct. The bile duct runs downwards and behind the head of the pancreas it joins with the pancreatic duct that together forms the hepatopancreatic duct or ampulla of Vater or hepatopancreatic ampulla. And this hepatopancreatic duct or the hepatopancreatic ampulla opens into the second part of the duodenum at major duodenal papilla. So these constitute the parts of the extrahepatic biliary system. The right and left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, then cystic duct and gallbladder, and the bile duct. When the hepatic ducts, right and left hepatic ducts, exits through the porta hepatis, the two more structures are passing along with that. One is hepatic artery, other is portal vein. And see how does it related. This area, this is the undersurface of the liver. You can see here the porta hepatis through which three structures are exiting or three structures are present. Posterior most is the portal vein that is present in blue color. Posterior most structure is the portal vein. Then in front of the portal vein is the hepatic artery. In front of this is the hepatic ducts. So anterior most structure is the hepatic ducts. One is from right lobe, other is from left lobe. This is a relation of the hepatic ducts when it exits through the porta hepatis. Then next to the hepatic ducts is a common hepatic duct. We know the common hepatic duct is formed due to the fusion of both right and left hepatic ducts. And this common hepatic duct is just 3 cm in length. It runs downwards and it joins with the cystic duct. So before moving to the cystic duct, we have to learn about the gallbladder, because cystic duct is the duct of the gallbladder. You know, the gallbladder is pear shaped or horn shaped. It is looking like the horn in a bus. It is elongated and it is pear shaped. It is acting as a reservoir of the bile that can store the bile as well as it concentrate the bile there. And this gallbladder is situated in the inferior surface of the liver at the fossa for gallbladder. Length of gallbladder is 10 cm and its capacity is 30 to 50 milliliters. That means it can store up to 50 milliliters of bile. And regarding its parts, it has a dome-shaped fundus, and this fundus is visible through the inferior border of the liver From anterior view itself, anterior view of the liver, we had seen the inferior border has a cystic node through which we can see the dome-shaped fundus of gallbladder. Then fundus is followed by the body, and which is followed by the neck. Regarding this neck consists of an outpouch which is present at the posteromedial wall of the neck, and this pouch is called Hartmann's pouch. It is considered to be a pathological pouch because gallstones may lodge in this pouch. You can see the neck as well as the Hartmann's pouch. So this is a neck, its posteromedial wall has a small dilatation, and this is called Hartmann's pouch. Then we will move to the cystic duct, because cystic duct is the continuation of the gallbladder. That's the duct of the gallbladder. It's about 3 to 4 centimeters long and begins from the neck of the bladder. It runs downwards and backwards and ends by joining with our common hepatic duct, and that forms bile duct. The mucous membrane of the cystic duct shows valve-like folds. They are called valve of Hester. This is not an actual valve, it is not a true valve. Here in this picture, we can see the valve, a valve-like fold of mucous membrane inside the cystic duct, and this is called valve of Hester. This is showing the valve of Hester. Then regarding the bile duct is formed by the cystic duct as well as common hepatic duct. Cystic duct and the common hepatic duct together forms bile duct, and this bile duct is about 8 centimeter long and 6 millimeter diameter. And regarding its course, first it passes above the first part of the duodenum. While it comes down, it is present just above the first part of the duodenum. Then it passes behind the first part of duodenum. We had studied as a relation of the first part of duodenum, the posterior relation. One of the posterior relations of first part of duodenum is this bile duct. So it passes behind the first part of duodenum. Then moving down, it passes below the first part of duodenum. So the whole course of the bile duct is related to the first part of the duodenum. So in the first part, in the beginning it is present above the duodenum, then behind the duodenum, then below the duodenum. So we can divide the course of the bile duct as supraduodenal part, retroduodenal part, and below infraduodenal part. This is infraduodenal. Here comes the retroduodenal. Retro means posterior to the duodenum, and this is supraduodenal part. These are the three different parts of the bile ducts. So since it is a long tube, because it is having about 8 centimeter long, so it has to pass these areas, and finally when it reaches behind the pancreas, means the infraduodenal part of the bile duct is present behind the pancreas. I will show you. This is supraduodenal part, here comes the retroduodenal part, and here comes the infraduodenal part. So this when it reaches the infraduodenal area, it is passing behind the head of the pancreas. So behind the head of the pancreas, you are studying about the relation of bile duct as a posterior relation. Then this bile duct, while reaching here, joins with the pancreatic duct and opens here at the second part of duodenum at major duodenal papilla. Then its blood supply, nerve supply, and the clinical condition. Blood supply is by the cystic artery, venous drainage by portal vein, nerve supply is autonomic nervous system. And regarding the clinical conditions, the tumor of the pancreas may obstruct the bile duct, and that causes obstructive jaundice. So when a tumor condition occur in pancreas, the size of the cell in the pancreas increases, its size enlarges, and it compresses the bile duct which is passing behind the head of the pancreas. So when the bile duct is compressed, that causes hindrance for the flow of the bile. So obviously it causes obstructive type of jaundice. Then another condition is gallstones. It can be otherwise called cholelithiasis. Cholelithiasis, that's a medical term. The gallstone is very common in fatty, fertile, 40 female. That means all these letters are starting with the F. They are common in fatty female, fertile female of having above 40 years. It causes an intense biliary colic when the stone get impacted inside the cystic duct. Biliary colic means severe pain which is formed at the inferior surface of the liver, that is at the right hypochondrial area. Then cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy is the surgical removal of the gallbladder. Cholecystectomy. Cholecystitis is an inflammation or infection of the gallbladder. Here in this picture, we are seeing the gallstones which is collected inside the gallbladder as well as cystic duct. Biliary colic is the severe pain due to the passage of the gallstone within bile duct. So that is about the gallbladder. Thank you.